All right, let's jump right into this explainer and tackle a massive mark killer. If you're studying the impacts of the digital divide, there's a very specific trap that catches out, honestly, 9 out of 10 students, and it quietly costs them that top grade. We're going to fix that right now.
So, picture a student confidently sitting in the exam hall. They read a question on the digital divide, they smile, and they write down, "People without the internet cannot get jobs." Now, freeze that moment right there. Imagine a red pen circling that exact sentence. That student has no idea that this generic, totally undeveloped statement is just going to bleed marks. Why? Because it completely lacks technical depth and real-world application.
Okay, let's look at how we transformed that basic thought into a real top-band answer. Just compare it to the one on the right. Rural job seekers lacking broadband cannot access online CV portals, severely limiting employment opportunities. Do you see the difference there? That top-tier answer anchors the technology to an actual real-world scenario. It totally avoids what examiners like to call the context trap by specifying exactly who is affected, what specific technology they lack, and the exact digital service they're missing out on.
Section 1. Causes of the divide: geography, fear, and economics. Let's get into it.
First up, sheer physical geography creates a massive barrier. Think about the huge mountain ranges in northern Russia. Laying optical fiber through solid rock isn't just difficult, it is astronomically expensive. You have to remember, telecommunications providers are businesses. For them, building infrastructure under mountains for a really sparse population, it's often just financially unviable compared to wiring up a dense, highly profitable city.
But, it's not just geography keeping people offline. Yes, there's the obvious lack of 5G and 4G in rural areas, but there's also the steep economic cost. Every new tech innovation tends to be super expensive, which basically means the richer you are, the faster you get access. But beyond the money in the mountains, there's a very real human element here: fear. There's genuine fear among older generations when they're faced with complex, rapidly changing systems. Honestly, even something as common as navigating a modern ATM or a new touchscreen interface can be totally overwhelming if you weren't raised with it.
Section 2. Real-world digital impacts.
So the crucial point we need to make is that a lack of internet creates a tangible, measurable inequality in everyday life. Just look at the health sector. Connected urban hospitals use digital x-rays and mobile tablets right on patient trolleys, while disconnected folks are relying on limited rural clinics and struggling to even book an appointment online. Or take travel. If you can't access online booking systems, you literally pay a financial penalty. You're often forced to pay premium prices for train tickets directly at the station.
And man, when it comes to earning a living, this gap becomes an absolute canyon. If you lack broadband or basic digital literacy, you can't even generate or upload an online CV. You don't have an active email account to talk to recruiters, and you miss out completely on social media networking. This effectively locks the digitally disconnected into low-paying, less stimulating roles, while digital natives just effortlessly scoop up the better-paid positions.
Essentially, the digital divide forces the unconnected to navigate a 20th century system in a fast-paced 21st century world. Students without internet access simply can't participate in the new academic literacy. They can't download presentations, they can't use online grammar checkers, and they can't upload assignments. It immediately puts them at an incredibly unfair disadvantage.
Now here's a surprising but incredibly useful real-world detail you can drop into your exams. Did you know that in January 2020, standard BBC TV teletext actually ended in the UK? That means news content outside of normal TV broadcasts is primarily online now, so those without internet access are literally cut off from accessing basic, on-demand daily news updates.
Section 3. The top band answer framework.
All right, let's break down this PLJ structure. That's point, evidence, explanation, link, and judgment. This right here is your absolute blueprint for high-scoring analysis. For example, if you get an exam question about automated greenhouses, you don't just list out the components, right? You make your point about a specific feature, like a linker. Then you provide evidence directly from the greenhouse scenario, you explain the technical sequence, you link it to accurate calculations, and finally, make a judgment on reliability. That is how you turn generic textbook facts into top marks.
Let's pause for a quick interactive challenge. The clock is ticking, you've got 10 seconds. Imagine a government proposes this grand solution to the digital divide. We will simply give everyone free computers and free broadband. Can you spot why that won't actually solve the problem? What's the missing logical link? And time's up. The missing link is digital literacy. Look at the solution on the right.
If you just drop a laptop in front of someone who has never used one, especially older adults, fear of failure immediately sets in. The hardware is completely useless without slow, manageable, step-by-step training. You've got to build trust and capability, not just hand out wires and screens.
Section 4. Bridging the digital gap. When it comes to infrastructure, we actually have some incredible tech workarounds. Just imagine glowing streams of data traveling directly through your existing electrical grids. This is called power line communication, or PLC. It literally distributes broadband to households right alongside their electricity. It's a brilliant, highly cost-effective workaround for rural connectivity, where digging up miles of road for fiber optics just isn't going to happen.
But technology alone isn't a magic wand. Overcoming the divide requires this exact four-step partnership. Governments absolutely must provide financial incentives. Then, the private sector has to actually build the communications infrastructure. Next, education providers need to deliver that crucial targeted digital literacy training we talked about. And finally, IT experts need to develop accessible user interfaces. No single group can lay the cables and teach the skills all at once. It's a total team effort.
On top of that, IT experts must engineer highly specific accessibility tools. Health conditions and physical impairments cannot be allowed to become just another barrier to entry. Visual impairments require text-to-speech or braille displays. Hearing loss demands text and SMS alerts instead of audio beeps. And mobility issues? They require alternative inputs like voice recognition, concept keyboards, or joysticks. Pro tip for your exams: always link the specific impairment directly to the correct hardware or software solution. When you're ready to apply all these IT concepts, use the 3-pass revision cycle. Pass 1, fix your core definitions, like knowing the exact difference between validation and verification. Pass 2, rehearse the technical procedures. And Pass 3, adapt and justify. This third pass is what allows you to confidently apply concepts, like compilers, to totally unexpected exam scenarios, like setting up a new payroll system. I really want to highlight this fantastic quote from Comcast's 2019 Accessibility Initiative because it hits the nail right on the head. The internet is a wonderful thing, provided people have the skills to use it. Raw data access, high-speed fiber, cutting-edge hardware, it is all entirely meaningless without the human capability and the confidence to actually harness it. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. Ask yourself, how are you going to use frameworks like PLJ to turn simple syllabus knowledge into absolute exam mastery? Don't just memorize the causes of the digital divide. Understand how they interact and figure out how to articulate those connections clearly on paper. If this session made things click for you, keep exploring, keep applying these frameworks, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.